Okay, so here I am this afternoon at Glimmerstone, hanging out with the sheep and a couple of goats. Usually I can just give them their hay or give them some bread and go about my business, but since we lost one yesterday, Shepherd John says that she was very old and there was quite possibly something wrong with the baby that she was carrying. I wanted to spend some time out here personally with these guys today, so I'm holding quarter bale of hay under my arm, and they've got some more hay right here. So I thought I'd take the chance to introduce you guys. This guy here who wants to headbutt, he's a goat. He is a billy goat, and his name, Anderson named two goats that we had this summer, Bo and Luke, and this guy is Luke. And this one here who smiles, this is our other goat, Gilly. Gilly is a boy. He is a wether. That means that he is a castrated male. And you can tell the difference between the goats and the sheep by the shape of their eyes. Some of these ladies here look like cows or camels because they have just some different kinds of shapes. This kind of tan-colored, chocolatey-colored one here is Fawn. Hey, Fawn. Hey, Fawn. Fawn is, as we can see, pregnant. We think that all of these sheep, everybody else besides the two goats I pointed out are sheep, and we think that she is, well, we know she's pregnant. We think that they are all pregnant. But some of them, this guy here is so little, she is so little that I don't know. The black one is called Sable. And Anderson and Shepherd John named one of these ladies Gunny yesterday. And I'm honestly not positive, because Anderson's in the house right now, which one it is. I was told that it was the biggest one, but we got a couple of contenders here for big. So, oh, and one more we know the name of is, one more of these ladies is called Spots, because she has spots. Now, this is how good I am with this batch. I can't even tell which one that might be. This lady has some spots. She's got an eye infection that she's going to get some antibiotics for this week. They're all going to get some preemptive treatment with antibiotics. But Shepherd John and Anderson tried to take care of that yesterday, and somebody was uncooperative. So we've got a pen over there, and we're going to move them time for their antibiotics shots. And we'll give them some sweet feed, which deer are very fond of, but these guys like that. That's corn coated with molasses, and they like that, so that will make them happy when they're getting that. So none of these are the sheep that we had this summer. Now, Bo over here was with us the end of the summer, and then he came back. He and Luke and Bo were here with us the end of the summer, and then Shepherd John took them to go do some work, and so we've got Luke back, but none of these ladies are ladies that we've had before. So they are not as familiar with me as some of the ones. But see, a few of them are still friendly enough, be willing to be patted as long as they've got their feed. Now you can see some of them. This one down here. Oh, thank you for putting hay on her head, so I can't really show you. See these funny marks? So previous owners burned their horns off. Some of these, even the females, would have horns, and they cut them and burn them off to cauterize the wounds, and it's just a kind of a crowd control measure to keep them from hurting each other when they're in a tight confine. So if any of these ladies have babies that have horns, there'd be no need for us. We wouldn't do anything like that here with these guys, because they have all us to roam around in. So Shepherd John has told me that all of these ladies were rescued from the abattoir. They were raised on farms where they were going to be raised for meat, and they were all too small. They didn't grow big and healthy like hey, Luke, knock it off. Be nice. They didn't grow as large as their brothers and sisters. So the butcher or the person that owned them for that purpose was disinterested, didn't think they were going to be worth much for meat, so he sold them off for next to nothing to Shepherd John, which we think is wonderful. And under his care, they have gotten big. I still don't know how come this one over here is the smallest, and I don't know why she's so small, but look at how soft her fleece is. These guys were sheared not too long ago. They were sheared probably in about September, so they will grow fleece all winter to keep them nice and warm. Hey, Fawn. Hey, sweetheart. Fawn currently is my favorite, although Sable, I'm always a sucker for the little tiny ones. The little tiniest ones. You're big, but you're being nice right now. So anyway, Anderson is in the house. He's gonna come out in a little while and hang out. He likes just hanging out in the pasture. He'll climb up in that big tree. And the ladies that we had this summer were the ones that made that possible, because they munched all the wisteria and stuff down from around the tree so that we were able to get it nice and clear. And Anderson said he wants to come out here and rake, and we can cut down some more of these pines. We will cut down all the scrub pines probably over the winter because Anderson enjoys using the axe. And we will leave the deciduous trees. There are some maple and some sweet gum in here, and we'll leave those until spring when they leaf out again, because then they can be cut down as needed to feed these ladies. We stopped cutting them this summer when John took the sheep to go to work, clearing yards for people. So if any of you guys know somebody that would like to have some brush, some wisteria or some kudzu or some English ivy cleared, if they've got a steep hill or something that they can't get to, and these ladies will eat that right up. So we send them off to go do stuff like that. But during the winter, when there's not a lot of green for them to eat, this is where they come, and I keep an eye on them while they're trying to get ready to have their babies. So the real obvious big ones that we know about, I've been told that they are due to have their babies in February or March. So I think that Shepherd John was just trying to give us some wishful thinking, since he could not get here immediately yesterday, when our one lady was sitting down, that he was suggesting that maybe it was that she was going to go into labor. I didn't think that was super likely, because we knew that they were all due much later. But oh, thank you for pooping on camera, Gilly, and right in everybody's food. That's lovely. But that's what they do. Oh goodness. It goes out as fast as it comes in. But the good news is they're not like dogs. So when they poop right here on the ground, we don't have to rake it up or scoop it up or put it anywhere. Because of the way that they process their food and because of what they eat, this becomes really good fertilizer almost immediately. And all signs of where they've pooped, it's always less than 2 weeks old, because this will break down and become part of the soil within a couple of weeks. You can't get away with that with dogs and cats. So that's nice. But I know those of you who have known me for a really long time think that I am probably about as unlikely as it gets for people that are going to live on a farm and raise sheep and goats. The only one here who is really kind of smelly is our buddy Luke here. because he is not a castrated male goat, and so he secretes a hormone that is stinky. And in fact, Pastor John, Shepherd John, called Bo and Luke Stinky and Stanky before they came to live with us. And Anderson named them Bo and Luke over the Duke boys, the Dukes of Hazzard. And Bo was the one who still had horns. And Luke is going to behave himself, or he's going to get walked over to a different spot. He's going to eat nicely with these ladies because there's plenty of hay for them, and we've got a lot more hay that they can have later on if they are still needing to munch after this bit. But they eat so nicely together usually. Just a couple of our boys. Mostly just Luke gets a little bit rough. And Gilly can be grabby because he's a boy. But he doesn't try to headbutt anybody, so that's nice. Hey, knock it off. Knock it off. So temperature today, it's 52, 53 right about now, and the low is going to get down into the 40s. The ladies, I've been told, do not need a barn, do not need a shed. They are content here, and there's a real tight clutch of trees here that if it's really kind of icing or something, they'll huddle under that. But they huddle together, and they take turns deciding who is going to be in the middle. And they swap out so everybody stays warm, and they haven't had any problems with the cold. But it doesn't get super, super cold here like it would in New England. We don't have snow, but we'll have ice storms and stuff. And we've been told by Shepherd John that they are good to go the way they are out here. We check on them all the time. I am looking forward to setting some of these ladies up with pajamas and sweaters. Give them a little bit of extra warm and make them a little bit more comfortable while they're pregnant. It's not really necessary. It's an extra nice thing that I'm going to do later on because I like to. Because I think that sheep in pajamas and sweaters are just super cute. So we're trying to get them comfortable to be around us and to train them to walk on a harness so